Hi, thank you for allowing me to come tonight and talk about the Technology Innovation Proposal for Southern Mountain School District. I want to begin with a current review of our technology status. Since the completion of our high school and middle school, we have been able to increase the bandwidth and internet speed to sustain a one-to-one computing model for up to 5 to 8,000 students. We are also aware of the changing demographics of the student population. We have recently experienced a large influx of Hispanic immigrants, and these students, of course, need ELL services. And we have also been told by our city government to expect a continued increase in student population over the next 5 to 10 years. So we want to be prepared to stay ahead of that. So in our forecast of technological status, we are looking at more technology required to meet the needs of the incoming population. Technology will need to fit the model of universal design to assist all students. And of course, we're talking about the implementation of project-based learning for all students in grades K through 12. We're very excited to be a part of this. As we're moving toward PBL, student learning knowledge is to tackle realistic problems as they would be solved in the real world. This gives the student increased control over his or her learning, and the teacher serves as a coach or a facilitator for the inquiry and reflection to help the students along the way of solving the problems. There's also a lot of student collaboration. I want to tell you about Adam. Let's just say Adam was a student at our school and he was absent one day and he missed a part of a project that needs to be done. Traditionally, the student would just do his best that he can, or maybe perhaps he knew what to do, and then he would get the project finished on his own. Well, oftentimes when the student turned in that project, it was incomplete or incorrect because he didn't know what he was missing. So the Adam is disappointed and the teacher is disappointed. Well, we want to help with that. We know that PBL offers collaboration and asks the teacher to give large amounts of feedback often and have it real-time feedback. This process fosters high-order thinking skills as opposed to low-level drills that may not sustain student learning. Linda Darling-Hemming and her team at the Stanford Center for Opportunity in Education have conducted extensive research on the best practices that incorporate technology to support students at risk. They need interactive learning, they need use of technology to explore and create rather than drill and kill, and they need the right blend of teachers and technology. Now, I want to be clear, not all of our students are at risk. However, the research shows that these best practices have the capability to enrich the learning of all of our students. So why not use them? The IT department, along with the professional learning department and the curriculum and instruction department, are making these technology recommendations after much discussion with classroom teachers and research into best practices. Okay, the first recommendation is the iPad Pro tablets. And we have brought one for you to see, and we've got a couple for y'all to test after the end of the day. We were able to work with a vendor to bring in some iPad Pro tablets, and he was also to bring us in some Chromebooks. We asked the teachers and students to use them and to be very honest with their feedback. The teachers have chosen the iPad Pro tablets. Now, in grades 6 through 12, these will be iPad Pro tablets for every student and every teacher. Now, I don't want to be leaving out the elementary and primary grades. What we will be doing for them is using all of the they're Chromebooks, but there's also some laptops and iPads, and those will be going down to the primary and elementary grades, and they will be using those. The teachers feel that those are going to help them and meet the needs of project-based learning for those grade levels. So the used ones will be refurbished and given to students at one-on-one, and then the new iPad Pro tablets will be given to our higher grade levels. Now, the reason that we are choosing these tools or recommending these tools after much talk and use and practice with the tools is because this tool is an all-in-one tool. It will help all students. It meets the principles of universal design. It has the camera, it has the recorder, it has all of the equipment that we need for this type of learning, universal design learning. So we are very excited to let you see those here. The next that we have is a learning management system. And there are multiple learning management systems. In fact, we did a survey of our teachers, and about 10% of the teachers are using a form of an LMS. You may be familiar with Schoology or something along that line. However, we did not find any consistency in use in the LMS project, and we're not sure that all the students were using it all the time. So we are recommending Canvas Learning Management System. The students in PBL they're going to be able to need to refer to instructional materials on multiple occasions. Do you remember Adam, the little boy who was absent and got a bad grade on his project? Well, if the student had had access to an LMS, the teacher would be able to post the information about that day. Perhaps there was a video that he or she showed that would be crucial to the project. Well, even if the student is at home or if he's at the doctor's office or wherever the child is, he could still access that information through multiple areas using the iPad and the Wi-Fi to find out what he missed. And then that avoids the failing grade. And it achieves the goal of student access to learning at any time and any place. Now, I think that you'll find Canvas is a wonderful LMS program. Canvas will also integrate with our current student data information service, which is Infinite Campus. The teacher will not have to put grades in twice. If you grade it in the LMS, then it goes directly to our Infinite Campus. So that is a very good tool. We wanted it to be a seamless transition. And lastly, we are recommending Google Apps for Education. The research conducted by Dr. Darling Hammond and her team tells us that students need multiple instances of feedback and assessments. The feedback and assessments can be achieved through project benchmarks and reflection activities. We need to provide students with information in real time, not after the project is completed. We want to have the students to be able to reflect on the feedback and make changes on the project. One of the hallmarks of PBL is collaboration. Students will be working with each other, but they also need to be collaborating with experts outside the classroom. For instance, they may email or Skype with an expert in the field of ecology to find out how volcano ash impacts plant life in Hawaii. Well, we want to facilitate those types of learning experiences, and for that, we recommend that we implement Google Apps for Education. This digital tool will give our students unlimited cloud storage, email capabilities, productivity apps that will allow for collaboration in real time, Google Hangouts, which is similar to Skype, blogs, websites, maps, browsers, extensions that will help them do things like create mind maps or animation or digital stories. This Google Apps for Education will be a tool that will help our students experience learning outside the classroom. And that's what we really want our students to be able to do through PBL. And they can publish their learning as well. Now, how will the teachers get all of this training into so much at one time? Well, I'm going to explain to you how this is going to work. The administrator of the Canvas and the GAF, our Google Apps for Education, is our instructional technologist, and she will be at the K-12 system level. Underneath there will be vanguards at every elementary and primary, and then the vanguards at every school, not just elementary primary, but at every school will be there to be their first line of help if there's a need. Now, they will also be, the instructional technologist will also be part of the tech team, which will include the director of technology, the director of professional learning, the director of curriculum and instruction, and the instructional technologist. Now, why are we adding professional learning? Because LMS is not only capable of Canvas LMS is not only capable of helping our students do online learning, it's also capable to help our teachers do online learning. So this will give us another tool to help extend our professional learning. It will give us multiple capabilities for student engagement throughout the whole school system. And we will be having students engaged in learning high energy, high order thinking skills, and all of those things will be added into our school system environment. And we want to create an environment where students are continuously learning and adding to the current body of knowledge. Now, again, as I said, we have the demonstrations of each of the tools here, and you're more than welcome to come and play around with them. In fact, we ask you to do that so that you can get a feel of what the students are going to be doing. All right, if you have any questions, now would be the time to answer those. Thank you so much.